All right, hey everybody, TG here. Let's get into the markets and see what is cooking. All right, so yeah, left off on ACB cannabis. Those things are doing well. Just keep in mind the theory behind that is that more states have legalized cannabis, and so cat's out of the bag again. These things look good. They look solid, and in fact, they popped up. And those in the Moxie group were right here. We wintered, right? Actually, it was this day, right there. And then the very next day in the overnight, the cannabis sector popped up. So great news for us. I mean, that was a nice 20% right in there. Now, no surprise as of right now. There's a big gap between price and the 15-minute 50. So this is what I told my subscribers yesterday, that we should expect price to come back down and do that. We didn't know if it was also just going to keep running, but I gave the option that, hey, if it comes down to the 15-minute 50, then that should be great as well. So I hope everybody's having a good day. It's going to be slow. It is the day before Thanksgiving. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving, so the market is closed, and then Friday is going to be a half day. So, just not much going on. Told people, hey, just expect things are either going to sell off a little bit because, where are the buyers? Anything like that. And then, let's see, the other thing I forgot. Let's do this. And let's see. Yeah, that way, because if anybody is wondering who I am, what I do, and where to find more information about me, you can come over here to profitpilot.com. Oh yeah, I forgot that I wrote this one. So this one's fun. 56% growth in 9 days. And guys, actually, I have, this is what I'm going to be doing a webinar on the 30th. So if you guys look, so this coming Monday, the 30th, right over here, I'm going to be doing a webinar showing you what I did, how I did it, and how I made these trades. And I am up to, oh man, this has been an insane, crazy week. So in 10 days, my account went up 88%, 73%, and 62%. And this is trading just stock. And honestly, I had one account that I'm trading. It's kind of an ancillary account. I kind of set it and forget it. And I'm amazed. I went through the math. I thought it wouldn't do as well. I got 94% gain in 10 days using just stock on some of these things. So as I said, I'm going to be having a webinar. Yeah, you can see, here you go. I'm going to be having a webinar coming up on this coming Monday, the 30th, 7 p.m. Central. We will be sure to get some notifications out there. We're building everything because the market has been pretty crazy lately. It may not look like it from the S&P, but underneath there have been just a ton of things going on, and I want you guys to know about what I think is happening and where I think that there are still some hot sectors and still some meat on the bone. But yeah, come over here, Profit Pilot. Check out as I said, I got to update this. There's more that has happened. And I'm going to be going through that, telling you guys what's going on with the market and where we're at with it, and that I think that there's still more to come as we kind of get the, I don't know, Santa Claus rally that's coming in typically at the end of December. Sometimes, though, that Santa Claus rally is more like a New Year's rally. But either way, so the overall thing where we are, the market itself has just been flagging sideways ever since the vaccine news came out. And we now have 3 companies that all have effective, or so they say, effective vaccines over 90%. So a lot of things been taken off, a lot of things been doing well. And then those of you who know me or have watched me a few times and see me around here, this is a trampoline move. That is one of my best setups. That is when price is below the 50, but the Moxie indicator is above 0. That is a high pressure, high buoyancy situation. And even though price was down and kind of going sideways, and I had people asking me, hey, is this thing going to go down, or are you in trouble? Like, what's going on? I said, I wouldn't do that yet. Not yet. Because if you look here at the 15-minute time frame, when we were over here looking at this, you can see we did get a double bottom. And honestly, the 15-minute Moxie indicator here was not falling apart. It wasn't awesome, but it wasn't falling apart. It wasn't doing this, okay? It was still up and green, so not terrible, and that's something you need to look at. And then actually by this day, you can see right here that price got back on top of the 15-minute 50 after the double bottom, and then decided to pop. And that was all also from the hourly trampoline move. I mean, everything was just lining up and said, be careful to the short side. I wouldn't be short, not at all. We've got a lot of good news out there. A lot of things are happening. Now, kind of underneath the surface, there have been some insane moves. So let me show you. The Moxie group, Moxie members, and I have managed to trade this one. This is IDEX. We got in at something like 90 something cents, 95 cents, something around there. And that's the wrong cursor. Let's get this switched over. There we go. And we got into this thing, and within 10 days, 2 weeks, something like that, we got all the way up here, 280-ish% gain. I mean, it depends on what kind of exit you got. And what? Yeah, there you go. 10 trading days. We got 280%. That was phenomenal. I think this actually beats my IGC, like my record IGC trade way back in the day at about, I think it was 254%. Let me see if we can go find that one. And what's crazy, if you go look, there it is. You can see here's where all my writing was. 250. See, what did that go to? Yeah, 257%. So I just broke my own record as far as how much money or how much gain I've made on stocks before. But that was the IGC trade right there, 257%. So that was way, way, way back in the day. And maybe this is different. You never know. But notice how IGC just has never come back. And that is the risk that we need to take when we run into, some of these crazy movers like IDEX. They pop up. Are they just a one-hit wonder? Are they going to come back? Is this real? We don't know. And this is why when you jump on things like this, you need to be careful and just get it for all it's worth, and then, GTFO. Another one was AYRO. This is another fantastic one. As I said, they're electric car related. And some of them are actually electric cars or electric scooters. Depends. We got a grand total of 214, 215% on that one. So we had a couple really, really, really huge winners. And I think that there are still some others that are looking pretty good out there. In fact, I keep looking at Ride. This one looks very interesting. I like the fact that it seems to be coming into the daily 8 EMA. So it's coming back from its overbought condition. And it is now coming back into the hourly 50. So something like that seems like it should keep going. Now, I'm a little hesitant to put a whole lot of stuff on today with the market. We have the Thanksgiving. I mean, look, overall, yeah, everything's looking great. But I just kind of want to sit still. I've had a really, really good 10 days. In fact, as I said, I grew my account, my main account, 88% in 10 trading days. And I grew my IRA, I grew one IRA 62%, and I grew the other IRA 80% in 10 trading days using just stock. So, as I said, we're going to be talking about that coming up on the 30th. Beyond that, you guys let me know what kind of tickers or things that you guys are looking at. We'll see what's happening. So, the solar space. Let me switch over back to the other view. Solar space has been doing well. I've been telling everybody about the solar space. I literally didn't have enough money to trade these things because I was all in on those electric vehicle stuff. But you guys know me, trampoline move, right? Price below the 50, Moxie indicator above 0. There's the trampoline move. And then ever since, this thing has just been soaring. And anybody in the Moxie channel knows that I've been talking about solars. I personally have been too busy trading everything under this, no pun intended, everything else underneath the sun, but they have been doing very, very well. SEDG, let's see how that one is doing. Yep, look at these things, they're doing great. You can see in through here, it's done a, right in through here, did double bottom, got over the hourly 50, and then followed the 15-minute 50 right there, and Moxie indicator was looking stellar. And then, yeah, kind of this whole, along with solar, this alternative fuel, alternative energy type stuff. These things have been doing great, like F-Cell. Look at these things, just going bonkers. Just insane. You can't touch all the water, as a lot of us from Simpler say, because even though there were so many moves happening and these things were great, look at the 227% gain on this one. I just couldn't take them all. I was fully loaded on all these other things. And then, yeah, BE's doing great. Let's see, where do we even begin? Maybe back from here. And you can see that one's 73%. And even from this bounce off of the hourly 50, it's gone 40%. Fantastic. And then I think we all know that Tesla is going to be added to the the S&P, and once that thing right here, you can see that it popped, and then what? It just basically followed the 15-minute 50, and that thing is up 27%, which is amazing for, you know, what that actual number means with their stock split and all that. So yeah, let's see what else you guys are looking at. LGVW. I don't always know these names. Yeah, there you go. And what's crazy, you got to be careful about some of these things. And even I was getting into it with the AYRO and the IDEX. This thing, so Wendy, this thing had 8,000 shares traded per day on average. 200,000, 86,000. This thing was like a nothing stock, and then it exploded out of nowhere. So, you know, if you're going to be catching these things, just keep that in mind. These are spurts. They probably don't mean anything real. And we have no idea what the company is, which you should look into, but apparently nobody cared about them up until this happened, because they were trading almost 0 shares per day, and then suddenly they exploded. So if you do take something like this, make your money, get out. Just get out when you have great things, and don't think you're going to be riding this for an investment of any sort. Let's see, Twitter, how's that thing doing? Yeah, kind of actually, the pattern set looks like Solar Edge. You know, just like that. Here's your double bottom. Here's price over the hourly 50. There's the Moxie price trigger. And so far, it keeps following the 15-minute 50. So it seems to me as long as this thing can keep following, say, the hourly 50 at least, and then it should start breaking up and over. So, Joy, yeah, the Moxie scanner, that's where you're seeing it right here. It showed up right there for the Moxie. And I would say it looks a lot like Solar Edge. Not that they're related at all, but look at that. It's the same basic kind of setup. And then let's see what else you guys got. ENB. Yeah, Enbridge. Okay, I'm familiar with them a little bit. Energy also. So energy in general has been moving up. I think part of the reason is with the idea with the vaccine. If that thing works and if it gets out there in the population and we start saying, okay, pandemic's over, then the idea is that people actually come back and start doing things. We start driving around, we start taking vacations and trips and cruise lines, and we just get everything going, and so the energy sector should come back to life. And I think we're seeing that. So look at that. That's a trampoline move. Price below the 50. The Moxie indicator above 0. It's a high pressure, high buoyancy situation. You can even see your positive divergence on the 15-minute time frame. And then right there, price got over the 15-minute 50 and even got over the hourly 50. So, yep, that one was perfect. That was a great setup, and so far still looking good. Just keep in mind it is extended. So the potential for price to pull back is always there. It is getting up here at the third ATR. It is pretty extended, but you know, for now, let's see if these things can keep running the way they've been running. But they've been moving very well. So we're doing great. Joy, yeah, good call on that with the scanner. Yeah, ENB. Should talk about the scanner is right here. The Moxie scanner would have come up and shown that because that's a trampoline move, and that's how you find these things. All right, and then ISEE. Let's see, okay. Careful with this one, again, the volume. It's, well, I guess it's mixed. It does look like it's at least over 500,000 shares on average, so okay, that's better, but right now it's very low. I guess that's kind of today. Not too many people are going to be trading. But yeah, it's a little messy. I will say that. It's probably not my personal favorite, but there is a big squeeze that's going on, and you do have price below the daily 50, so that should be working. And then right here you can see price got over the 15-minute 50 and it's been following. I'd be curious to see, Joe, if at some point, if price actually comes back down somewhere, you know, maybe it just goes sideways too, to meet up with the hourly 50. So if you're riding this, great. If you're looking for another opportunity, I would say keep in mind whenever price hits the hourly 50. Let's see if that kind of does something. And then PGen, let's see, what is it? PGN, if I can type it right. Yeah, nice call. So here you go. That's what I was talking about, looking for price to hit the hourly 50. There you go. That's a trampoline move. Price below the 50, the Moxie indicator above 0. You can also see price down, Moxie indicator flat. That was your divergence, and then right there it got back over. That looked pretty good. Yeah, so that one looks like it's got plenty of volume. And what is that? Is that an energy thing? Because that, yeah, I don't know anything about this one yet, but it is doing well and seeming to take off with the rest of the market doing pretty well. But trampoline move. Those of you who know me and Moxie, trampoline move right there, and that's got some big volume behind it. So good job. And then Steven, yeah, UAVS. I'm not going to be too worried about this. I think it's just going to need a little bit of time because what it do? Got a bit overextended and kind of there's your natural resistance right there, and you can see that there's a big gap between price and the hourly 50. I don't see anything wrong with this. You've got price coming into the daily 8. You are still over the hourly 50. The Moxie indicator is above 0, and we might even be getting, yeah, that. Let me show you on the 5-minute. Let's see if I can pull that up. And I'll slide this over. Now I don't always go to the 5 minutes, so just kind of keep that in mind. We'll see if we're, but here's what I'm seeing. See how price is down, Moxie indicator's up, price is down, Moxie indicator's up. So this might just be the beginning of a good of the next good move with UAVS, and that's what I'd be looking at. Ethan, let's see, yeah, NIU. So NIU, it's just kind of a choppy stock. A lot of the EV names pulled back today just because they were so extended. Right now, I will consider that this is still in range. My stop is actually right here at 29. And even though I would have preferred, let's see, yesterday, it looked as though price was going to actually bounce off of the 15-minute 50. Okay, didn't happen. But now what I'm looking at is potentially price down, Moxie indicator up, and generally I'm looking at the hourly 200. I want to see if price can hold there. This thing is still in an uptrend. It's just a matter of, okay, how much time does it need to go sideways before it does anything? If I need to get out, I have my stop at 29, no big deal. And if I do see price come up and run into the underside of a moving average like this, or come up and can't get past the hourly 50, then I'll reconsider this. But I think that this, along with the rest of the EV names, are probably just taking a little bit of a break, a breather. Most of the time, the hourly 200 is a pretty good backstop, and so I'll be watching that as far as my line in the sand goes. But that's why I set my stop just below that. And then, yeah, CBAT. And yeah, CBAT, you can see I drew a line there. I'm going to see if that thing holds. We got to give it a little bit more time. As I said, I'm really not in too much of a hurry to do too much today, but you can see I'm kind of looking at this maybe as a double bottom. It should also still be a trampoline move at this point, and you can see here's your level, and then we are seeing some positive divergence on the Moxie indicator. And then in addition to that, if we look lower right there, I'm looking and wondering if that's going to be a little local double bottom. So I'm watching for this thing to start to move down and start to bottom out, but it's not quite there, and I want to give it a little bit more time to see if something like that happens. And then let's see, APPS. And then if my audio is not good, let me know if it's not good. And then because I'm getting mixed answers. Now APPS, this daily chart looks fine. I don't really see a problem with this. In fact, we had price try to move up again. It seems to have run into some natural resistance right here from its previous high, but we still have the same thing. Price seems to be following the daily 21 pretty well. The 8 is over the 21, and we have price over the daily 50. So, that's looking okay. And then even on the hourly chart, we are still technically in a trampoline move right here. Now, that can always change, but I'd like to say that this thing looks pretty good because there was there was a move, and it seems as though this is just a pullback. And if you also look, we've got a lot of price congestion right there, and where are we at? We're right back at it. So far it's just trending sideways. It's just kind of doing this thing. I don't really see any problems yet. I'd like to consider this a trampoline move so far, but I need to see that thing confirm, and just a matter of time, I think, waiting for this. Yeah, so thanks guys, appreciate that. Let me know about the audio. And Gwen, NVTA, I think that did move more, but I think the idea still holds. It's a little bit more of a mover than I'd like, but if you notice, it's kind of very much the same as APPS. Same deal here, price at the daily 21, price at the daily 50, and it did run into some natural resistance right up here at the previous high, and it had a good move. I mean, like, this was a trampoline move right here, and it shot up. Now, okay, it did get extended, but we never know what's going to be coming next. Like, yeah, it did hit the third ATR, price was over the hourly 50, but we didn't know if it was going to keep running off the 15-minute 50, or if it was going to come down to the hourly 50, or if it's going to go further. So right now, what I'd like to consider on this one is the daily 50, and it should be staying hopefully no lower than the hourly 50, and the Moxie indicator is still above 0. Because another way you can look at this, and again, we're going to have to wait and see, but this thing has moved really, really far, really fast to the downside. And look how much distance that is putting in between price and the 15-minute 50. That seems forcefully sold. I'm not believing that too much. So I'd like to see if this starts to hold and the Moxie indicator is still above 0. And so some of this stuff, just going to have to wait a little bit, but that daily chart looks great. It's just a matter of figuring out where price is going to go in the meantime. But yeah, the daily chart's looking good. All right, let's see what else you got. Yeah, NVTA, let's see, Chegg. Kind of looked at that the other day. A lot of these things, they kind of got beaten up when, well, the whole election, everyone kind of started getting out and whatever. And then things really bottomed out when the vaccine news came out and these COVID name plays suddenly kind of took a hit. So what I'm looking at, I've been watching to see if Chegg was going to come back, but there's your price down. There's your Moxie indicator up, so that's the beginning of the bottom. There's your double bottom, and then yeah, there's your Moxie price trigger. So any of you who have the Moxie indicator, this is probably why it's coming up on your list and you're checking it out. I tend to be the second entry kind of person. Like, this seems like a fine entry. So if you wanted to get in on something like this with Chegg, it does look like there's some volume coming into it. So I don't know what the news or whatever is. We still have a fairly wide 8 and 21. And we still have the daily, or the hourly 200 overhead. So I have a feeling this might be the first move kind of up here, and then let's see if there's kind of a fade, and then if there's a second move. That's kind of what I'll be looking for. But yeah, overall, this thing looks like it's hammering out this bottom, and you can see the positive divergence that we have, like price down, then flat, Moxie indicator up, and then more up, and now we're up at 0. So yep, looks like it's trying to get moving to the upside. And I don't think there's not too much. I didn't really like alt. I've tried trading this one in the past. Now, this could be the time, but this is just not a stock that I think is something I'd be wanting to go towards. So even though it does look kind of a little bit similar and does look like it's moving, I think that there are better things to try and tackle than, and I tried tackling this one too way back in the day. I think that there are better things to kind of look at. Jay, let's see. Do I scan more for trampoline hourly over standard hourly? Well, do you mean standard hourly as in like the Moxie price trigger for hourly? Yeah, and thanks for letting me know your handle, Rubberhead. But yeah, I really like the trampoline move, but they don't always populate. They tend to populate when things pull back or when the market's doing things. You'll notice at certain times in the market you get a lot of trampoline moves. Well, it's probably because the market pulled back or something like that. Let's see, ALEC, what's going on with there? And then just one more time, I wanted to remind you guys that I am doing it's a free webinar. We don't have the promo up yet. It should be out there soon, but we have a free webinar that I am showing on Monday, this Monday, the 30th at 7 p.m. Central. And it's going to be going over how I actually tackled all these names, and this is old news. This is old news. I am now up to 88% gain in 10 days, 10 trading days on my main account. My Roth accounts are up 62% and 80%, and then I even have a friend's account that I'm trading in. I don't even know how I did it because I kind of set it and forget it, but 94% gain on just stocks in 10 days. So yeah, come check that out. We'll get all that posted out there for you. And if you guys are interested in the Moxie indicator, what I do, come over here to services, and that's where you can get some more information. And that should be some fun stuff over there. JT, yeah, we did talk about IDEX, mostly just that it was great, and you got to get out when the getting is good. Let's see. Alec, what is this thing? Okay, volume is good. Yeah, look at that. Check that trampoline move. We'll see if that lasts. Price below the 50, the Moxie indicator above 0, trampoline move. Now I will say something seems a little funny about this one. Okay, I'm looking at the weekly chart. Let's see, where is that? The only concern I have with this Alec name is if you look at the weekly chart, you might be running into kind of the 21 at this point. It might want to come back down just a little bit and do a double bottom on the weekly. Please keep that in mind. I always look at the higher time frames. And then the other thought about that is if you look at the daily chart, there could be an issue. This is why I like to follow multiple time frames. So right now this is a trampoline move, so keep following the hourly 50, but also keep in mind that price might eventually want to come and meet up with the daily 50, and so that might be slowing down. This is just the first move, on the daily chart. This is the first time price has crossed the daily 50. At some point there will be a second time where price wants to bounce off of the hourly 50, then go again, and that is the second move. Gwen, yeah, NVTA 16% short interest, good. Yeah, we did already cover that. And let's see, TTD, what's going on with that one? Nice, Bhaskar. Yep, that thing has been moving. And actually, this is one of those names. I almost went long right there, but I thought that some of these EV names were going to be more fruitful, and boy, was I right. So I'm happy that I put my money in those directions as opposed to something like this. But if you see that, there's your double bottom, there's your trampoline move. The Moxie indicator is above 0. Even a squeeze was there. You can see there's double bottom, there's your positive divergence on the 15, and this thing's been doing great ever since. Now, just keep in mind, it might be kind of getting ready for perhaps a pullback, because this thing is pretty far off of the 8 EMA, and it has not touched the hourly 50 in quite some time. So, Bhaskar, just remember that and keep in mind that this thing's kind of getting a little extended from some of these moving averages, and it might be ripe for a pullback. Not that the trend's over, just that there might be a pullback coming. Let's see, ISRG, if I can, ISRG. Well, let's see. So price coming into the daily 50 seems like that would be okay. I don't see too much on the hourly chart, so it's probably going to be on the 15, which it is. So price down, Moxie indicator up, price down more, Moxie indicator up. Now we start getting price up, and we are on top of the 15-minute 50, and the Moxie indicator is looking much better. So that could be the start of something, but we're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place here. You do have the 15-minute 200 overhead, and you do have the hourly 50 overhead. So I suppose if you were going to be looking at something like this, if you get in, I'd pretty much want to see price stay over the daily 50, because if it breaks the daily 50 to the downside, that probably means that price got rejected by the hourly 50 and rejected by the 15-minute 200. So yeah, kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place on this one. You've got a lot of these competing moving averages, and you're really just in the middle. So you either need to figure out what your stop is, or kind of wait until you get a little bit better of a signal for something to happen. All right, CSIQ, that kind of goes along with all of the solars. And yeah, looking good, looking good. So earnings are out of the way. Bounce off the daily 50, bounce off the daily 50. There's your double bottom, there's your positive divergence, and then price got over the 15-minute 50. Looking good. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that one, Jason. And then Jay, yeah, I usually keep a pretty good list of names that are on my, that I just look at anyway. But as far as the scans, I kind of do a quick look through of multiple scans. They all show up on different things. Sometimes you're going to get a lot of Moxie price triggers because, well, things have just started moving. Or you're going to get a lot of trampoline moves because things are already moving and we got a pullback. So they are going to show different things, and you're going to find different things, and that's why you need to run the two different scans to kind of find what you're looking for. All right, I think that pretty much brings me to the end. I think I covered most of these names. But guys, just remember, it's the day before Thanksgiving. The volume, look at this thing, the volume is super low. Everyone's fat and happy with what's going on. We had a real, look at this thing. We had a stellar day in the market yesterday. But what happened? Overbought. We got too far away from these moving averages. We even pulled away from the hourly 8 EMA, and we hit the third ATR. Everything on my charts just said yesterday was too much of a run. Maybe it was a short covering rally because maybe people were thinking the market was going to fall apart or move down because it was underneath these moving averages. But instead, we got a pop, and I think people just got caught. And a lot of times this kind of just vertical movement is indicative of short covering rally because it just keeps marching. People just need to say, damn it, screw it, I got to get out, and they just keep doing that. And then when the forced buying runs out because people are not buying to buy, they're buying to get out, then a lot of times you see a little bit of an air pocket afterward, and that's what you get here. But overall, the market's looking good. It's looking strong. I don't see anything but up, and we just have to deal with the low volume day or couple of days that are Thanksgiving and some of the holidays. But overall, this stuff's looking good. I'd even love to see price here essentially bounce off of the 15-minute 50. Everything is looking great. So yeah, we'll keep doing this. We'll see what Black Friday brings us, and then we'll hit it for real starting next week. Until then, you guys take care. I'll see you on Monday. Remember, come over here, check out profitpilot.com, because as I said, I'm going to be doing a webinar on the 30th, 7 p.m. Central, talking about how I just practically doubled my account using just stocks in 10 days. So yeah, and all the Moxie guys were along for the ride. All right, everyone, you all take care. Yeah, thank you, appreciate it, and enjoy the holidays. Take care, and I guess everyone will be having a Zoom Thanksgiving, won't we?